This topic comes up again during each election and stirs up public opinion for a reason. It concerns voting rights for Ukrainians living in Poland. While this was more of a side issue during parliamentary and local elections, today it is becoming a really serious matter. This will be a very big threat, and it is precisely the element of closing the system that they are talking about. It is not only a change in treaties of issues of sovereignty, which are the most important, the transfer of powers to the European Union, but also technical, very important matters related to the system, which will cause the balance in the elections to tip in favor of left-wing liberal candidates and Donald Tusk's camp. Today, support for political parties in Poland is divided almost equally between the right-wing and liberal left-wing camps. So where can the votes that guarantee certain advantage be found? According to commentators, by inviting new voters from Ukraine to participate in the elections. I consider any schemes in this area that would aim to extend voting rights to minorities, to people who do not have Polish citizenship, to be very risky. One has to think, even being a party like the Civic Platform, I would expect them to think about Poland's future and Polish sovereignty, and not just about their immediate interests, although perhaps my expectation is completely unfounded. The idea of voting rights for Ukrainians in Poland was already being pushed in June 2022 by the current Minister of Justice, Adam Bodnar. He wrote in Gazeta Wyborcza at the time, Ukrainian citizens participate in the life of the local community. They work, pay taxes, and raise children. There is no reason why they should not have a say in the election of local authorities. It should be natural for them to also have their representatives in local councils. The Electoral Code allows European Union citizens permanently residing in Poland to vote in local elections. The problem is that this number is marginal. In the case of Ukrainians, who today constitute a large group in Rzeszów and Lublin, for example, the scale is significant. Here we see a huge danger of compromising the internal security of the state, compromising the social security system, and in fact, Polish people could find themselves in their own country as second-class citizens. A situation could arise in which, in some cases, they would be outvoted, and this would be unacceptable from the point of view of our Polish reason of state. The idea is applauded by representatives of the Ukrainian minority in Poland. People are treated as a labor force that should not have any rights. This is discrimination. Therefore, enabling participation in elections and support for communities that will protect the rights of migrants is highly advisable. What is more, even the issue of citizenship is not a necessary requirement for the ruling coalition. If it is a longer period of stay, then a solution must be found that gives them a chance. Shouldn't they get citizenship first? I am not an expert in this field. It is difficult for me to define it, but I believe that with a longer period of stay, it does not always have to be related to citizenship. Why is the idea of granting voting rights to immigrants important to the current government? Perhaps because this model has brought political dominance to the Social Democrats in Germany. There, it was enough to give voting rights to immigrants from Turkey. German society is aging at an alarming rate, and soon it will turn out that decisions across our western border will not be made by native Germans, but by people who have different origins and do not identify with this country at all. As a result, despite enormous support from native Germans, French, and British people, right-wing and conservative parties in Western Europe have no chance of breaking through the support of the growing immigrant diaspora.